In the realm of martial arts, few matchups capture the imagination quite like a hypothetical battle between Bruce Lee, the revolutionary martial artist who changed cinema forever, and Pei Mei, the legendary White Lotus master immortalized in Quentin Tarantino's Kill Bill films. Both represent different eras and philosophies of martial arts mastery, making this theoretical confrontation a fascinating study in contrasting styles and approaches. Bruce Lee, during his prime in the early 1970s, stood as a 5'7", 130-pound dynamo who revolutionized martial arts with his Jeet Kune Do philosophy. His approach emphasized adaptability, efficiency, and the integration of techniques from multiple disciplines. Lee's physical conditioning was legendary, with his 1-inch punch generating tremendous power, and his speed so remarkable that cameras often couldn't capture his movements at normal frame rates. Pei Mei, the fictional but culturally significant master, represents traditional Chinese martial arts at their most refined and deadly. Standing tall and imposing, this white-bearded sage embodies centuries of kung fu tradition, wielding techniques that seem almost supernatural in their precision and lethality. His mastery of pressure points, internal energy cultivation, and classical forms represents the pinnacle of traditional martial arts. Bruce Lee's Jeet Kune Do was built on the principle of using no way as way, a fluid, adaptive approach that borrowed the best elements from boxing, fencing, Wing Chun, and other martial arts. His philosophy emphasized intercepting attacks before they fully developed, using minimal movement for maximum effect, and maintaining constant motion to confuse opponents. Lee's strengths included incredible speed, explosive power generation through proper body mechanics, and an almost scientific approach to combat efficiency. However, Lee's relatively small stature and focus on rapid exchanges might prove challenging against an opponent with superior reach and experience. His modern approach, while innovative, sometimes lacked the deep traditional knowledge that comes from decades of classical training. Pei Mei's traditional kung fu style emphasized precision, timing, and the devastating application of pressure point strikes. His legendary 5-point palm exploding heart technique and mastery of dim mak, death touch, represent the most lethal applications of traditional Chinese martial arts. His strengths include vast experience, supernatural timing, and techniques refined over lifetimes of practice. Yet, Pei Mei's reliance on traditional forms and techniques might struggle against Lee's unpredictable adaptive approach. Traditional martial arts, while profound, can sometimes be rigid when facing unconventional strategies. In this epic confrontation, both fighters would bring unique advantages. Lee's speed and adaptability would create constant pressure, forcing Pei Mei to abandon his typically methodical approach. However, Pei Mei's experience and mastery of internal energy could neutralize Lee's physical advantages through superior technique and timing. The battle would likely begin with Lee pressing his speed advantage, launching a series of rapid attacks designed to overwhelm his opponent. Pei Mei would initially give ground, using his superior reach and defensive positioning to weather the storm while looking for openings. As the fight progressed, Pei Mei's experience would begin to show. His ability to read opponents and exploit weaknesses would gradually turn the tide, forcing Lee to adapt his strategy mid-fight, something he excelled at throughout his career. After analyzing both fighters' capabilities, Pei Mei would emerge victorious in this legendary matchup. While Bruce Lee's speed, innovation, and adaptability would make him incredibly dangerous, Pei Mei's vast experience, superior technique precision, and mastery of internal energy would ultimately prove decisive. The White Lotus Master's ability to end fights with single, perfectly timed strikes would eventually overcome Lee's rapid-fire approach, though not without sustaining significant damage from the martial arts icon's relentless assault. This would be a battle for the ages, one that would push both fighters to their absolute limits before Pei Mei's centuries of refinement would triumph over Lee's revolutionary approach.